Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got Alex. What happened last time?
You always roll me.
I'm
Almost.
sorry.
Let's see.
It's true.
Let's see. Last time. Last time we. Let me think real quick. Last time we started off with the conclusion, kind of like the concluding details of what the away team, for lack of a better term, had accomplished the prior session, and that led us down the path to where we are now, which is to say we found the information of where the ship was we were searching for. I now realize my notes are under a pile of papers because my entire room got taken apart, but it's not on the name of the ship. But we came to what was called the battlegrounds. We were told the battlegrounds, which is a giant graveyard of ships, and that is where the ship that we had a name to, like our name was on. Oh gosh. So we knew where our target was, and we kind of rounded ourselves up on the port that we were at. Went through a few acquisitions to try to get stuff, and then we set off. We were warned that there were some complications as to getting there, and so we chose what we thought the lesser of the two evils was, which involved staying in the warp as short as possible, if I recall. But we were pulled out of the warp even earlier than we expected, and we ran into three orc ships. And they were smaller. They were smaller than one might have thought. We kind of blew them out of the galaxy. And
they was asking for a good proper fight, and we has given it to them, Omen.
It's true, we did give it to them.
Because you see, Pomfrey, the orcs is always win, especially when they win.
Yeah, they really beat that asteroid that they drove straight into.
Damn right, for the glory of Grok and Mork.
Well, we took care of those boys, and then we arrived at the battlegrounds without much more of a hijink, and from there we got in our gun cutter, is I believe the name of the smaller shuttles that we were using to get around in, and we had just landed at the ship itself. And from the outside, there were quite a few curious details of information we had noticed. Like, it seemed that the ship was, I believe, still operational, as though we had come upon it only mere hours after it had been, left out there in the battlegrounds, and there was still atmosphere on the inside. And I believe that is where we left off.
Yes, you are, of course, the rogue trader, Lord Captain Darius. We need to probably come up with a name for your dynasty, whatever your surname is as well. And all of your explorers are the lords of your dynasty and your retinue, your direct retinue. And this represents your first endeavor, as it's called. You've received a writ of claim from the Adeptus Administratum, authorizing you and offering a blessing unto your supplication to the throne to salvage the Emperor's bounty and take from it anything of any value. It has, however, the catch that the rogue trader must be the first person to step foot on the vessel. As you approached, you discovered that the rogue trader, or I'm sorry, the vessel still had power. The plasma drives were still active, if idle and auxiliary power only. And you were able to, your gun cutter was able to find a place that you hope will be as close as possible, a safe place within a few hundred meters of the bridge and the command throne. And you have disembarked. Whoops. Can everybody see their token? Do a tech check here. Okay. So you can you see here, it's clear, at least to the tech priest, that the plasma reactor is still active if operating on minimal power. There are some galley lamps even along this this room that are still active. There's a portal ahead, a sliding door, which doesn't appear to be locked, and it has the power necessary. It seems to be able to open it and continue down. What you can see ahead appears to just be a corridor, and there is a cogitator in here. And while I didn't put it in here, something that you see immediately on the cogitator is a body that's slumped across it. While your gun cutter was able to form a seal here in order for you to embark, and you secured this first room, this body is slumped across a dead and completely destroyed cogitator. What do you do?
Can we investigate the body?
Sure. You can make a Medicae check. And,
I'd also have a pretty good investigation roll, if that would help in all
yeah, if you're not particularly... If no one's good at Medicae, then you could instead do an investigation, and since, if 5713 is helping and looking at things... Right off the bat, I'm sorry, E410. First of all, E410, the cogitator is utterly demolished. Like, there's nothing about it that will operate in a useful way without significant repairs. And you can offer a step bonus, so a +10 to investigation for Ramirez if you want. Unless somebody's good at Medicae.
Yeah, I don't have Medicae or any of those.
Doesn't seem like any of us do. I'm literate, if that will help.
Yeah, go ahead and make a +10 investigation check, Ramirez.
Right.
Sorry, what were you saying, Alex?
No, I was just joking.
Interrogation, invocation, literacy, which skill is it under?
Ramirez skills, it's on the left-hand side, I think.
Left hand, thank you.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's scrutiny.
Scrutiny, perfect.
Scrutiny. Right there, that's a different name.
Alright, in that case I'll be rolling that with a +10. Let's see what can be found on this. Regrettably, my liege, I cannot make heads or tails.
Alright, so here's what you're able to determine from looking at it. First of all, this person is well and completely dead. They've only been dead for a matter of weeks, maybe? But they do smell. You don't see any signs on them of, like, holes, like explosive. It doesn't look like they were bludgeoned or shot. There's no carbon scoring. They're just dead. And they're on top of this cogitator, which definitely does not work. The other thing that you notice is you can feel the deck plating slightly listing as you stand, as this old deck plating rumbles atop the weak grav plates of the system.
Well, Ramirez, what have you found?
Very little, Lord Captain. This man has definitely been dead for a couple of weeks, and he's definitely beginning to smell, but I think we could all figure that one out quite speedily.
A couple of weeks. Perhaps we have company on this ship. Others looking to steal our claim. What you can't determine what the man died of, you say?
No, not at the time being, my liege, no. We will have to be on our guard.
What is this man's dress?
He is a clearly a Imperial Navy enlisted person, a cogitator operator of circa Millennium 41 of the late era, probably the 900s. That is to say, in your era.
Recent?
Yeah, recent.
Okay. Oh, that's actually the first question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Maybe, perhaps we do have company. Maybe there is something going on with the Imperial Navy at the port we were just at, but none the matter. Move his body away if we must to examine that cogitator. One of you, several of you, find a way through to the next room.
My lord, I'm very sorry to report that this noble machine has codged its last tater. It is extremely dead.
Well, if the machine is dead, what course of action do you suggest?
I could rip doors open with my Mechadendrite.
Wonderful. Then, if you feel that the room beyond is safe, if we have no tools to look beyond, do so. Get that door down as quick as possible. And everyone, have arms that bear. Not sure what we're going to be running into.
They weren't already?
All right, I'll roll up my sleeves. Bare my arms a little bit.
Your cogitator has a sleeve. Or not the cogitator, the dendrite.
So you, everybody's training their weapons on the door?
Just to clarify, where is this door?
Good question. It's right here.
All right,
There's a
that's
door
what
right
I
there.
thought, but I just wanted to double check.
All right, and then it doesn't require a check. E410. You take your Mechadendrite and slam it into the door, and you mechanically and manually scrape it across. You can tell that it seems to have been damaged. There's something wrong with the door. Ahead, from what light... By the way, your servo skulls have lumen globes, so like the servo skulls automatically put out light. And then, so from what light you have, you can see... You can already see ahead on the deck plating in the corridor, spent shell casings on the floor.
This ought to be fun.
You were correct, Lord Captain. There was definitely a conflict here quite recently. And before I forget, I'll have him check his chrono to see what time it is now, in case we go through a room that's been 3 hours, when it's been 3 minutes.
Took chrono. And that was Ramirez. Okay. All right. I can kind of move your tokens and pan the camera. You don't have to kind of treat this like it's like a video game or anything. However, I think something that would be useful is it appears to you in this narrow corridor only about a couple of you could fit line abreast. So I just need a order of march of, 2 by 2 who's going when. You also have 2 servo skulls. They'll fit in any order. They're minuscule in size. They're only this big. And then you have this big hulking servitor drone that's like 6 feet tall and partially only mechanical and just is like... and it's pretty slow.
And the servitor drone, that is absolutely human or humanoid?
Yeah. In fact, not just humanoid, but it was a human. It was a person, but now they have received the blessing of the Omnissiah forever.
Of course. Pardon me, I thought about using a different token, that one you saw earlier with the clockwork pig, but if that's a former human, then obviously I'm not going to have a clockwork past boar as a servitor.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, servitors, either things went really, really bad for them, like they're criminals and they were like excommunicatus traitores or something, and then they were given a chance at redemption by being merged with the machine, or something went really, really well and then they had the exact same fate.
I see.
I vote we put the can we perhaps have the servitor lead the way, and then if we need to, take cover behind it and have pop shots up around it.
It's very tough. Something you would know for sure is the downside to that is that it is loud and slow. But otherwise, it is very big and tough, and you can use it for cover.
If we're talking pure metagaming logics here, given how we're starting characters, we're probably going to flub our stealth rolls anyhow. So maybe it might be good for now to just have meat gears over there march in first, and we take pot shots behind him.
Okay. I'll put him...
But that is just... Okay.
And then who would be next to him? Or do you just want him kind of in front and then two behind him?
What if we have the servo skulls at the front?
Yeah!
You could do that too.
They're kind of small. Maybe would we want to split them up so we all get light?
Yeah, you could also do like
That's a
that.
good idea. I will stay with my servo skull in the rear, defending us from behind.
I will offer to walk with the servitor.
Okay. Make you just small enough so you can fit in the corridors. And then I'll put you right there. And then, sounds like I got like a second rank and then like the tech priests. Is this right?
That looks good.
Okay.
Acceptable, my liege.
Okay, so I'll just kind of move you from encounter to encounter because I know it can be laggy. Okay, so, and I'll also pan the camera as we go. Alright, so you go into the corridor and you see in this corridor, first of all, there are these stubber casings all along the ground. Additionally, about 3/4 of the way down the corridor is a pool of viscera and blood, which is caked and dried into the deck plating. It is near a nearby ruined cogitator. However, there is a small and simple interface near the cogitator that is still active, and lighting blinks from auxiliary power, and you have another door ahead leading further on into the ship.
Suppose we'll take a casual glance at that cogitator, and then if we don't need it to get through to the next room, we'll...
Could we try another scrutiny aided with medicant on the blood splatter?
Yeah, so you're trying to... What are you trying to examine the blood splatter for? Just to see whose blood it was? Is that, you know?
Whose blood it was, how
yeah.
it got everywhere.
Yeah,
we can probably
yeah, makes sense.
Grounds, but, you know, just...
Yeah, go for it. So...
blood is, okay.
Somebody can attempt a Medicaid check, but if no one has it, it's half of your attribute value, like half of your intellect or whatever it is, rounded down as the target number. If it's a scrutiny check, then you can do a scrutiny check and two people can help you.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if you don't want to take up extra time, however, the tech priests or anybody else could interact with the remaining auxiliary panel. What's everyone else doing?
I poke briefly at the panel before realizing I know nothing about how this works, and gesture for one of the tech priests to come up.
Yeah. The benefit of, like, when they say, all right, train the weapons on the door, or watch this, you know, if you watch the right place, yeah, I'll tell you what you can't do. You can't say, I'm watching everywhere to see, right? But you could train a weapon on a door, and I'll say that you're not going to get surprised. You know what I mean? But if you are in an open area, you got to pick the avenue of approach for the enemy. Can't just be everywhere. All right. How'd the scrutiny test go?
I just want to make sure I got my bonus right first. It is +10 per person helping, or +10 altogether.
Who is helping?
I mean, I would offer to help. I don't know how I can really help.
You got medicant?
No.
Yeah, bless you. I will say...
You lick it.
So, in order to help, it actually does say, it says this on the book, because I read the book recently. It's a BP book. I feel proud of myself. It says you have to be trained in the skill in order to do it. So, yeah.
I'll just roll vanilla scrutiny then. And honestly, you should be proud you got through the book, because it's a good book. Alright, yeah, that's even worse than before.
Oh no. I also want to note that your servitor and your servo skulls actually have skills as if they were full characters. And if you if you look at their character sheets, they can actually do things. Like, your servo skulls are a bit OP in my opinion. They're,
Sadly, I cannot look at my servo skull. I just have a picture.
Likewise.
is it says all players. Oh, you can't edit it. I have it wrong here. Let me fix this. I can fix this. All right. Now you can edit it, Caleb. So everyone else can only like see it, but Caleb, you should be able to edit it, and then Rory, you should be able to edit yours.
Ah, excellent.
So for example, it's really, really good at concealing itself.
Yeah, gosh.
It's also, it's amazing at awareness checks. So if you send it ahead at reconnaissance, it's extremely silent. It just silently, creepily floats around a skull in the dark.
And that's about all it's got.
It also has a las pistol of its own, which on its own turn you can use. It has a lumen globe, a combat tool, and an auspex. So you can both scan things, and it doesn't mention it, but it has a microbead. You can communicate with it. So
I just want to mention, while everybody's doing their investigation and whatnot, I do have my weapon trained up there, in case somehow the door opens and we get anything happens, because I don't trust this one bit.
all right. Okay. All right. So you investigate the body, and here's what you're able to tell, Ramirez. You can see that it was a large amount of ammunition was pumped into it, and you can see the compound fracture points and explosive fractures, the exit wounds from chunks, and the searing, tearing wounds of ricochets that are internal, where the round tumbled into a person and then tore them apart from the inside. It looks like, and you can see that from the shell casings, that someone had fired into this thing a lot, not a little bit. Like they'd emptied a couple of magazines into it. It is almost only paste and pieces of a person at this point. What else do you all do here?
I'd like to take a look at our little screen keyboard doohickey. What does it have for us? What can it be? What can it provide us?
I also got a random event.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's one of my least favorite kinds of events.
Either good or bad.
So here's what happens. 5713, you're in the back. And you're like, because you're like, I want to look at this thing. So everybody's going to have to move forward. So it'd be kind of in the transition of moving into the next place. When suddenly you're certain that you see something shift behind you.
Ah! Servo skull, investigate. I'm scared.
The servo skull flies, flies into the previous room quietly, floats around, uses its little flashlight, scans around. Everything seems as it was, and you look back and you realize what you think shifted. You feel like you saw the body just slightly move. But it's just laying there.
I don't like this.
Does anyone have a knife?
I have a sword.
Sword man. I require your sword arm. Could you do me the honor of stabbing that corpse like a bunch?
Regrettably, I don't have a knife on me, so it'll have to be sword man.
Alright, I'll walk back here and stab the body.
You stab it, and you hear the crunching, slurping noises of a sword slicing through gristle and viscera, and then sliding back out, and now you have icky, old, nasty stuff on your sword, but otherwise nothing happens.
All right.
I walk back and I wipe the blood off on the servo skull before walking back up to the front.
Well, it looks gnarly, so I'll allow it for now, but all right, we're good here. The threat has been neutralized. Don't worry, we're on time.
Darius kind of taps his foot as like, ah, yes, the ordinary investigation of a derelict ship, as expected.
Now you said that you're going to look at the panel. This is a simple control panel, but it has power. So what is it that you want to learn from it, 5713?
Well, let's see what it's got. What does it control? What do I see on this screen?
You look at it, and it has controls which are flickering in a kind of monochromatic, like a CRT display, just like, and then it looks like it's the controls for the some controls for the cogitator, but the cogitator is actually destroyed. So the system is still on, but the thing it's controlled is destroyed.
Interesting. So it's not. It's only connected to the cogitator.
You're not sure.
Are there any record? Well, I would like to uncover this. What does this have access to? Are there any messages on it? What data is located on this terminal?
Sure. Make a tech use, and then I think you have. That's it. Yeah, tech use.
All right. I have not succeeded, apparently.
Oh, no. Also, as a reminder, and by the way, I put this, a new thing in here using fate points. So if you ever want your list of what you can do with it, it's there in your journal. You know, you can always re-roll a test, but you only have like 2 or 3 of them per session. But
yeah, I think I'll go hang on to mine just for the moment.
All right, let's see. What you're able to tell from this 3.3 degrees of failure is that the power on the ship must be on. One of the obvious things to you is that like the main control of the ship is the bridge, which is where the gun cutter tried to get you close to. So somewhere ahead must be the bridge of the ship where you can control auxiliary power and divert it and, you know, blah, 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 you know. But apart from that, you're not able to determine anything from this panel.
All right, yeah, I can't seem to discern anything from this. It may be a low priority system. Not connecting to much.
All right. What do you do now? Obviously, we'll keep you safe there, Robot Man. But
don't got to worry about the dead bodies behind us.
Guess we're opening the next door, going on ahead.
all right.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
You're able to just manually slide it open. And let's see here.
Oh, wonderful.
In this room, you can see an intersection of 4 different doorways, north, south, east, and west. And you see in this room, there's more blood spatters along the floor in places on the plating. The plating in some of the walls also has carbon scoring. You can tell that the left passage is void sealed. It's one of the problems with not having power to the ship is you can't control some of these doors automatically. But when you look out, it looks like it's been sealed off. So it would take some work to try to open it. The right passage is locked, and the system's lock is still active. The north door is unlocked and even slightly ajar.
Anybody else look like we're getting funneled somewhere?
Undoubtedly, likely a trap of some sort.
Or maybe the ship itself is directing us to where it wants us to go.
Yeah.
Always a possibility.
We're here to carve our own path. I suggest we take a look at that locked door while the rest of us stand guard.
It shall be done, my liege.
I keep my gaze firmly on the northern corridor and the
All right.
slightly ajar door.
A problem you run into is there's no control console for that door from here. So you would probably need to find some other place to control it to be able to open it, or you could try to force it open.
We do have a servitor drawer.
Mm-hmm.
I also have the grabby arm thing to help it or something.
Indeed.
I get a plus 20 to strength test.
Ooh, nice.
In that
Oh,
case,
when you say you have a Mechadendrite, you're talking about one of those like freaking claw things that stick off the back of some tech priests.
Yeah, it's the I forgot the name of the one, but it's the one that has the big like construction claw.
All right.
Because it's for tearing doors or heavy lifting, so it's like, oh, that'd be useful.
All right. Ramirez, do you want your servitor drone to try to force open the door, helped by E410?
Of course, noble game master.
Okay. Okay, it goes over there, and E410 you help. So I'm going to say that since that's the case, I'll give him 2 degrees of... I'll make it 2 degrees easier. And then, let's see, servitor drone, who has a strength of 50. So this will be a... I'm just going to make it a regular strength test, and then I'm going to give him a plus 20. Uh, 4 degrees of success. So with your giant grabby claw arm, you just go like a can opener, and then the servitor's just like, and then just like forces the door open manually.
Excellent work, you two.
You can't see it from here, but basically this goes into a corridor on the other side. When you look onto the other side, Roar, I'll actually bring your servo skull over as well, so you can see it. Can you see, Roar? Can you see on the other side? You might not be able to.
Nope.
Okay, I can
don't
fix
see
this. I can fix this. How about
I believe in you, Ross.
now? Can you see now? I got
Nope.
more things. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, so you see a corridor here, and it looks like there's actually a door right here, with power still to it, and a command panel, and it looks like you're standing in a pile of people goo again, like viscera and blood on the other side of the door. And in this long corridor here, it snakes around 90 degrees. There are spent shell casings all along the corridor.
You said there was blood. You said there was signs of a fight in this area, right? Where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see
Does it look
blood
like
and carbon
the
scoring.
fight went any direction?
In
If
this
you know what I
room?
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
make a scrutiny check. If you aren't trained in scrutiny, and actually I'll be interested to see if the character sheet does it for you. Just, yeah, make a scrutiny check. Interested to see that.
With no modifiers.
It did do it. Yeah, because it does, yeah, and it made it 0.5. Yeah, so it did the math for us. Nice.
Negative 7.5 degrees of success.
I think
Would you
from
like to go in there
May
and help
have been a
them?
fight.
From your
At some
point of view,
point.
it sort of just looks like mayhem, actually. It looks like there's holes in certain places, and carbon scoring in others, and blood. And I will also put you all together just so you can see what's going on. I'm not trying to... There you go.
Oh,
Oh, just another corridor. Okay.
Would you allow me to give the roll a good old college try? See if I can pinpoint anything else.
Since it was already a check, you can. However, I'll say that that's a new round.
That is fair, if that's fair for you guys.
Mm.
Alright.
If a lot of time is passing, I'm not sure how deeply we really want to investigate these places, especially if it means more danger can come upon us.
All right. In that case, better to keep marching forward. Although I think that the combat master and one of the E410 should probably switch places before things get hairy.
All right. And as I was saying before, right here is actually a door. You can't see it, and there's actually a command panel that's live. It has active control. It doesn't look like it's locked. And then at the end of the hall here is another command panel, but the door here is actually open, even though it doesn't show it, and it just elbows 90 degrees into a corridor going back the other way.
So we got 2 spots. There or there. I got no opinion. I'm gonna roll a dice. My dice says we move to the north through this, or at least try to get through this door. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm doing whatever boss man says.
We shall follow you to the jaws of death if need be, Commander.
Do we have a sense of what direction the bridge is in?
Yeah, you know that it's kind of that a ways, like north. And the reason you know that is because you came into land short of the bridge, you know, so that you could try to, you know, access the bridge. The command thrown to the bridge is sort of the prize, because it gives you control of everything on the ship.
Then it seems, Lord Captain, that beelining it to the bridge would be the most efficacious decision.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
From what I've heard of these derelict ships, and even from what we're seeing currently, rarely is the path so straight. We should exercise caution as we move, but not tarry in one place. For if we can reach the command bridge, we'll have better command of the situation.
Ha ha ha! Nice. I liked it. I liked it.
What do we? If the room opens easily with the command panel, what do we see beyond?
Yeah. So you see more of the same in a linear switchback fashion, because the corridor sweeps back 180 degrees and then elbows to the left here 90 degrees, and you see more blood and chunks, and then more spent shell casings, and some kind of fluid here, on the decking, and a slight glow coming from the window, the whatever you call the observation window from the door into the next room.
You want to send that servo skull to see what's in the next room before we go charging in there?
I'll send it forward to scan then.
You don't have to, it's just a thing.
All right.
Well, that's what it's here for.
It comes up to the door, and you get a message directly into your... I can't remember what those things are called, but your internal brain internet.
Microbead or something?
The tech priests have it's not the noosphere, that's when you're connected to everybody, but whatever your brain internet is, where you see things in like an user interface, it sends you a message, and it basically says, I live only to serve, shall I open the door? And it shows you, actually, let me make a roll for it, because it might actually see something.
Uh-oh.
It, does not. Everything's fine here.
This makes me nervous. I'm just gonna say, I am very nervous right now. Well, it might see something. Oh no, it doesn't see anything at all.
If the servo skull is unaware that there is danger, then there is undoubtedly danger.
Are you questioning the Omnissiah?
I plead the fifth.
At that, the servo skull is like, the Omnissiah is omnipotent, and his power is without end. And the door he opens the door, and you start getting warnings, all the tech priests do, as it opens the door. It floats in, it gives you a feed. Can you actually see this?
Yeah,
Roar?
I see.
Yeah, so you can tell that this is a maintenance hollow. and it's still active. You could probably use this to make some minor technical controls of the ship and local systems and gain information. However, there is an active plasma leak, and both of you are receiving that information right now, and everybody needs to make a check for that. It would be a toughness check.
Good at being tough.
Toughness check.
And so Ramirez, you'd also do the toughness check for your servitor. This would not affect the servo skulls.
Just the server. Okay.
No modifiers.
Nope.
All right.
Would
need
one
access
use?
to the sheet.
I'm using a fate point.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
gonna use a fate as well to bump it up to a
Would
0.6 degree of success.
would
All
one's
of us, all of us do the roll?
Yeah.
would one's possession of a void suit be advantageous
rolled
in this
an 8.
situation?
If you're wearing a void suit, then I'm going to say it will delay it a round. I think that there's a different... I might be getting this mixed up with my Traveler, where there are different types of suits. That sounds silly, though, for this game. Let me look real quick. Would that be
Also,
under...
I'm burning a fate to re-roll that.
Sure, alrighty.
It was under journal for me, and it says that it doesn't particularly protect against the warp, but it sounds like for everything else it's pretty
Oh,
pretty
that was
robust.
just...
So, clothing, and it's called... What's it called again?
Void suit.
A void
It's under
suit.
acquisitions for me on my sheet.
Alright, so I don't think that this actually is useful for that. However, I will say it does protect you for 1 round. So you won't have to make
I'll
the...
take it.
Yeah, you won't have to make the roll this round. Did anyone fail that check?
I know that my servitor droid needs to make the check.
Okay.
And I'll need access to his sheet as well.
Oh, the servitor drone. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about. Happens to the best of us.
Alright, you should now have access to his sheet.
It is loading now. Wonderful.
You might have
Lord
to close it and do
Darius
it again.
has. Lord Darius has failed.
Alright, this is, I'm gonna just check real fast. I don't like reading the rules, but when it hurts people, I'm more apt to do it. Just doing a quick scan here. I think I know how this, what would happen here, but... Servers... Just doing a quick scan. Special damage. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Vacuum. Interesting that it doesn't have radiation in a space game. So I'm just going to call it like fire. And it's just going to hurt you. It's not going to... Which, believe it or not, is actually a better option than some of the other things I was thinking.
Alright, the servitor drone also lost by 1.9 degrees of failure.
Alright, let's see. The servitor drone, I will say this ignores armor, however. It takes 9 wounds from this. The servitor drone does not react well to this at all.
It might be dead, just heads up. Let's see here.
It now has, so and you have to track this. Okay, so it now has...
It's at -1 health.
Yeah, so you now have -1, and it would do a energy body 1 critical.
Okay.
And so it says, a blow to the target's body steals a breath from its lungs. It can only take a half action. So you notice that, like, your servitor's just like, and is just like dying from this. And it's completely silent. But Darius, you feel ill. You can feel your heartbeat beating in your ears. You take 1 wound. And did anybody else? Everybody else passed? Okay. The tech priests know what is going on. You know that this isn't sealed, and there's a plasma leak.
Can the plasma leak be repaired by the servo skulls?
Yes, I think. I think they have the same skills. They do not have tech use. I'm going to say that yes and no. They can attempt tech use, but they could make things worse, and they're not good at it. But you could you could try it.
The skulls or E410 or 5713 do likewise for my poor drone.
Do what for it?
Do the same for the heal him, repair him, put him back together again, so his heart doesn't give out.
It's his biological side, so he can heal, but he'll have to. It'll take time, psyker abilities, or Medicae. You know.
Which none of us have. Might have to order this thing to head back to the ship for first aid.
I think our choice here, guys, is whether or not we back away from this or whether we go forward. I think it doesn't really sound like we have much to deal with this, but perhaps we're able to in the same way that we open the door, we can close the door with the servo skull. If we're taking damage, I don't think we want to risk this, because you don't get too many wounds in this system. We are frail.
I would say that we should definitely back up immediately. The question is whether we should send our servo skulls back in to try to fix the leak.
Oh, that's an idea. Like, we can be even more than a corridor back and try to get them in there.
We should leave. We're dying a little bit where we are.
Sounds fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, and I'll make sure that 5713 can see with the skull. So you guys won't be able to see this, but
it's okay.
But Caleb and Roar should be able to see it here in a moment, anyway.
I think that if we had one skull attempt to repair and one skull assisting it, then like if it gets worse, then that corridor is just lost to us, which it already is. So I figure.
All right, so they go in here to the control console for the maintenance hollow, and either of you, and I'll say that the other one can provide a +10, but either of you can do a attempt at tech use from the trying to control your servo skull. It's kind of like trying to do surgery half blind with monochromatic vision 2 rooms away.
Well, I do believe tech use specifically is an advanced skill, so I think there's a 0% chance of success.
You are correct. I forgot about that. It's over here in the advanced skill section.
Could we direct it? Because if we can see what it sees, and we have tech use. Could we say, like, put the red wire where the blue wire goes?
I'm just going to click it just because I'm curious what it's going to do. Interesting. It actually let me do it, which is fascinating. But it did do the math. Or maybe it didn't. I think it's confused. Anyways, although I did get a 100 on it too, or a 00 or whatever. Okay, so here's what I think that you could do. I think you can try to come up with a means of simplifying the task. So can you actually repair the plasma leak? No. Can you try to find some way to seal it off and then vent it? You know, like, can you do something more complex that you could have direct control over? Yes. Does that make sense?
Is there a plasma button that we can just turn off?
Well, I'll put you back in this room. And this, I'm just going to say, is very difficult. Because there is an active command panel here. So I'll just bring your servo skulls back because they're not gonna. Well, I'll leave them over there for now. So so there's a command panel, but this is it's not meant to do like stuff like this. So what I'm gonna say is that you can attempt to do it, but I'm gonna say it's at a -30, and the other tech priest can help you. So somebody can try a tech use. It would be at -20 then.
I would also like to ask, I believe I have unspent experience from the last session that we did. Can I use that to upgrade my tech use?
I don't know, to be honest with you right now.
I don't know what I can use experience for, so I'm,
It's on the chart, but I don't have the chart, so we won't do that right now. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Well, I could do tech use, and then could he assist?
I would be happy to assist you.
Sure. So it'd be tech use at -20.
And what does the helping add to it?
Oh, plus 10. It was a -30. So yeah, you've got a -20.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's bad.
71.
Oh no. Okay. Well, the good news is that you don't like cause more damage, but you're certain that like without access to a greater control in the ship, if you could get to the command throne and gain control of the ship systems, you could do something like seal the area off and then shut the systems down and then vent the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And then allow it to cool down and then repressurize the room and then allow someone to come in. You know what I mean? But you need control of the systems in order to do that. So that was a
I have
wash.
a feeling that this portion of the ship is lost to us presently.
It seems so. We've spent quite a bit of time on this endeavor. I think we must reassess which direction we go. I will make. Ramirez, roll me any dice.
Alright, what's it for and how will it be read?
Just a decision, evens or odds, to see which direction we will go next.
Odds. And,
Alright.
would you allow me to send the servitor drone back to the medbay for repairs?
Certainly, though, we may want to just stash him in. If we can get him back into the gun cutter, if the gun cutter is still nearby, we should get him back in there. But let's have that gun cutter nearby in case something goes wrong.
Okay. He follows your command and goes back to the seal with the gun cutter.
And an odd indicates, if everybody's okay with potentially jumping into the jaws of the beast, as we've been calling it. An odd indicates that we just go back to the intersection room and we go straight north through the door that was slightly ajar.
Straight to a trap, I'm down for it.
Our guns are at the ready, sir.
I'm not good at hacking stuff anyways.
We best redo the marching order real quick.
I don't know if Ramirez, if you want to be up front now or.
Maybe not up front, but...
I think one of the tech priests is actually pretty tough, if I recall. But
taking on point, man.
You got it.
Woo! Let's go.
All right. Let's see. So you're able to open this door.
That doesn't look good.
Oh boy.
You see a lot of red lights.
Yeah, there's auxiliary lighting in here, and describe what you see. You see another four-way intersection. You can see that to the left, as you look through the viewport of this, that there's an open corridor leading into a barracks with the door open. However, the corridor has been open to the void, and it's the atmosphere is vented, and it's actually open to space. And then let's see. The north door is a series of switching back and forth corridors with auxiliary lighting and several more of those panels. And that's it. The right corridor, you can tell from where you are, leads into that maintenance room.
The room of death.
And I'll roll another d10.
I'd take it we just keep heading north, because we can't really go any other direction right now.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Alright,
Okay.
northward bound, gun at the ready I go.
Likewise.
Alright, so when you make it, this is not, doesn't really represent, I will say there's a couple of choices here. There is an open door that leads into a long corridor here. And then this kind of switches back and forth in a narrow galley space in what appears to be like a utility corridor leading to some stairs at the end. Or not stairs, a ladder.
Tech priest, what do your skulls tell us?
Sure, we could send one skull one way and the other skull the other way.
Which skull 410 goes north or 5713?
I'll send mine north.
All right. Boop, 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 boop. And this one goes, opens this door, goes onto the other end of it, and then reaches this door here, and then sees that. I'll actually make it so everybody can see with it as well. There's a blood-streaked corridor here, and then gets out here, and it's actually depressurized. And its repulsor kind of like shimmies a little bit, like as it loses its, gravity and stuff. And then you can kind of float out here, and you can see that there was a battle, all right? Like, so you got some gore here, you've got shell casings, and then they opened this, and then just like opened the void lock. So that's what you see there, and then to the north, it goes into a utility access way into the bridge space, which I guess this one doesn't have lights either, or not everybody can see it. There we go.
So the bridge is up here, our goal.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I propose we just head to the bridge. That seems to be the end goal, but Lord Captain, it is your decision.
Is it just me, or does there seem like there's a person in the bridge?
Very possible.
Oh, do you want to send the servo skull ahead a bit?
That's what we're doing.
Well, the bridge is like, how long is the bridge? It is just in the main portion of the bridge, about 200 meters long. So,
I might as well give it a look around.
okay, let's do that. So this is something that only E410 would know now, but I'm sure you'd transmit it later. First of all, the systems that allow basically the trash is open, and it's been left open instead of being closed back off. As you get to the top of where the command throne is, you see on the command throne is a person sitting there, and just like a pale person sitting on the command throne, and then surrounding the command throne are just dead bodies everywhere. Just piles, literal piles, like as if they were piled there.
Can we tell what these people are? Like, do they have uniforms on or anything?
Yeah, these are Imperial Navy personnel.
Does the person on the throne react to seeing the servo skull?
No.
And I will probably call it back and tell everybody what it saw.
So,
Horrific. Simply horrific.
If I were to hazard a theory, this vessel, right, is powered to some degree. And whenever we were approaching the vessel, there was no indication of it producing a Geller field, right?
Yeah, Geller fields are usually only used in warp transit, so it's not active.
We would have to find the Geller field and then determine if it was damaged prior to this. So perhaps that doesn't lead us any information. But whoever it is that is on that command throne, assuming they were the last person there, they must have had some control over this ship. What's the deal with the quick question, Ross? What's the deal with this corridor ahead of us? Is it just a tight
It's just a tight utility corridor that's only about 5 feet, and it's very narrow. There's like, whatever you call those things, like support beams, and you have to kind of like, and it just switches back and forth into a utility space.
I see. Okay.
This direction leads off into space. It has also been vented.
we could just talk to the scary man on the throne and see if he's friendly.
We could, but I have my sincere doubt.
I doubt it, but
we have this ship is ours. We have ownership over this. It doesn't matter who that person is. We'll speak to him, but Hans, I want you to be someplace ready to shoot that man.
I'm always ready to shoot anybody. Okay.
Yeah, if you get the feeling that he's not gonna play ball with us, even in the slightest, I want you to pop a hole in him.
And would you like me to enter the shadows, my liege? I'd be more than happy to fire from the darkness if need be.
Indeed.
Splendid, sir, splendid. Is there enough wall or shadow where I can slink into it and stay out of the big creepy guy sight?
Once you're in the bridge space, you can try to do that. The bridge space sort of, looks like a mixture of a Baroque, weird, steampunk starship command bridge that's way too big, but also a church. So there's going to be columns and things with old dried and cold incense and weird things like that. So once you get there, you could try to do that.
Out of character, hey, that's my aesthetic. In character, it will be done, my liege.
Alright, what's the plan?
I think Hans and Ramirez, it sounds like they'll be. Let's have Hans and Ramirez enter first and probably try to stay relatively unnoticed, and then the other trio of us will enter the room proper and just make our way across, see how the man reacts.
Alright, I will it doesn't let me do a secret.
Hiding is not my strong suit, but I can try.
No worries. The hiding part's probably just to give us as much like if you want to try to hide, it'll be just so we get any slight advantage here. Nothing to worry about too much, because we might be going guns blazing sooner than later.
That will be a joy too, my liege. Shall I roll Mr. Concealment?
Yeah.
Alright.
You can do that. And Hans, you can try to do that.
I'm gonna fail, I can promise you that much.
Alright, you are...
Yep,
negative
7 degrees of success.
You can spend a fate. You can spend a fate to make that a barely successful thing.
I'm not trained in it at all whatsoever. So like I knew I was going to fail the moment you were like, let's try and be sneaky. I'm like, I can try, but I won't be. I think I'm being sneaky over here, and I'm just like stomping, basically, just stomping the entire time.
Yeah.
As
Not
you
to do your job for you, but I'm just imagining that scene in what's it called? There, Dracula Dead and Loving It, where the brides just clump off the screen.
Yeah, I'm not being sneaky.
Once you get it about halfway down this nearly 200-meter long decking, this area is massive. There are these pillars and things, and despite it being fairly well lit, you're able to use that Ramirez to be confident that you're kind of hiding behind things. You even can kind of use these things as cover. You think that you could probably move. This right here is also hidden from the area ahead, so you could probably move to that and be in full cover. Yeah, and then if you had to stay concealed, you could stay below the line of sight of this giant pile of bodies. And if you did that, you would also be concealed. So there's some options for you, is all I'm saying.
What would his sight be from this little corner here? Like, would he be able to do reasonable firings, or would he need to get behind the stiffs?
You'll have three options there. You could either come out from cover and fire, or find cover somewhere else, or you could use this as partial cover and fire from around it, and it'll give you however much, I don't know, half cover, I'll look at it. Or you can keep full cover and then you have to stay out of line of sight.
I will keep full cover and stay out of line of sight, but my hell rifle is ready to go whenever the bullets start flying.
Okay, so you all make it about halfway down, and then you can see that what E410 told you is the case. This place is littered with bodies. Some of them are Imperial Guard, and they have the uniforms of the Imperial Guard, or at least a ship's contingent. And then you have actual piles of corpses that appear to be intentionally put into piles, and they're piled up like neck high, and you know, a good dozen feet wide of just like a pile of bodies on either side. And then that's all you can see from where you are at this point. Yeah, go ahead.
Could I close the trash chutes as we go past?
Yeah, you could do that.
And the door behind us.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna have my rifle trained on creepy dude, just as confirmation.
You close the trash chutes and the door behind you.
Let's just minimize some points of ingress here.
All right. What do you do now?
Lord Darius puts his hands behind his back, and straightens his posture, and with his two tech priests at his side, he's gonna what word would I want to use? You know, he's gonna put on that noble strut and make his way up and say something. Regally enter. I like that. Yeah, and he'll start when he doesn't have to use his, let's say, outside voice. You know, when he feels that the man on the throne can hear him with a lower voice, he begins talking like, "Ah, yes, I can see our ship is in disarray and disorder. I'm here to take that throne from you."
All right. Stepping over the fallen corpses of the ship's crew, you ascend to the command plinth, and you gaze upon the Lord Captain's throne. At the base of the throne lies what must remain of the last captain of the Emperor's bounty. Broken, contorted wires and tubes roughly severed and pulled out and ripped, torn from his body and its housings. In his place atop the throne, instead, is a man in robes. The robes of a navigator. He sits, his head bowed, apparently dead. Curiously, the man's hood is thrown back, and it reveals a strange metallic worm-like device attached to his forehead where his third eye would be, like a giant metallic leech. And suddenly, the navigator's head snaps up, and he regards you with empty, vacant, dead eyes. And a couple of other things immediately happen before you're able to act. First, you hear the seals on the door on the far end seal shut with a void lock. And you can hear echoing off in the distance all the doors that you came in do the same. The second thing is that a baleful crimson glow begins to emanate from around this thing on its head. And let's see. Suddenly, some glimmering kind of field appears around him. What do you do?
Gonna start with an aim action, full aim.
Okay, yeah, you take that time to do a full aim action. That makes sense. So right now, I'll say you have like half cover, you know.
Forgive me, what was full cover? Or...
I don't know. I'll look at it in a second, but you know, and if
half cover is good enough.
Yeah, but basically, full cover means nobody can see you and you can't see them. You're behind something. Hans, what are you doing? Are you also aiming your weapon?
Yeah, I'm taking a full aim action as well.
Gotcha.
Just because I don't want to miss if the time comes to...
in response to you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I don't want to miss if the time comes to pop them, so I was taking the full aim action.
Gotcha. In response, Captain Darius, this is what happens. So you say those things, and all of a sudden he bolts up. He has this vacant stare on his face, and then some kind of energy field surrounds him, and the doors lock around you.
Darius will cross his arms in front of his chest and raise his voice over the crackling noise of this energy occurring in front of us, and he'll ask, "To whom am I addressing?" Hoping for a response.
You get no response, but instead, twisted cords of warp fire start to like arc out of this thing, like that. And the room, you can suddenly feel it get colder, and you can feel the hairs raise on your skin as something is touching the warp. And this warp fire shoots into. I'll move back these servo skulls are just here for lighting right now. They start shooting into these piles of corpses. And then, all of a sudden, the corpses start to rise. Several of them.
Well, I guess we're going for weapons.
We got some fancy grenades, right? We acquired those.
I don't remember that working out with the melt-a-bombs. Did you get the melt-a-bombs?
Nope, that failed. That failed.
Yeah, because we went for the full crate. Alright, well, I guess we'll die.
We'll die. Shit, we ain't going down yet. Darius is definitely reaching for his power sword. And I guess it seems, and I guess he'll yell out a command. He'll yell out, shoot that man.
Okay. Let's see. You draw out your power sword, and it ignites in this like a hum of cerulean blue, as this like thousands of year old ancient dark age of technology that no one knows how to do anymore ignites. And you can roll a d10 plus your agility for initiative, or I think you can click it on the thing. Let's see. Let's see who can act first.
Oh, I remember seeing an initiative button on here somewhere. Where did it go?
Right, initiative.
Combat, and then on the very bottom right, we got a roll initiative button.
But,
I
what,
don't see it.
It's
it's
not.
just under jump and leap.
Oh, I see it.
What makes initiative?
It's a D10 plus agility, the first digit of agility.
Oh,
Okay.
splendid.
13.
Well,
It's not letting me roll for whatever reason.
You
So
can
I'm
just do,
gonna
yeah, it's fine.
manually roll it.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be a 9 for me.
How do you say agility was calculated?
Oh, mama.
D10
It's,
plus the
D-
first digit of agility.
Yeah.
Darius
I
gets
got
10.
12. Rocks tonight.
It didn't add my agility, so I actually have 12.
We are going fast here, which is definitely good.
Okay, and then let's see here. What did you get, Hans?
I got a 9.
Hans got a 9. Okay. Ramirez, you're able to act first.
Oh, didn't one of our tech priests get 14?
I got 12 for E410, is that right?
Yeah.
5, 7, 13 got the 14.
Oh, sorry. Okay, 5, 7, 1. Okay. 14. Okay. All right. 5, 7, 1, 3. You can act first.
All right. Well, I have questions about this man here and his force field of force. What's up with it? Does it appear to be generated from anything? And can I discern, is it like electricity based or is it warp based?
Yes, you can. You can use your Archaeotech feature. Looking for your stuff.
I do have that.
You could roll that, or you could do tech, or tech use.
Alright, let's find out if this button works this time.
Or
It still
logic.
doesn't. I cannot roll my Archaeotech.
I can do it, I think.
That would be great.
Okay. Archaeotech, yeah, you're good at that. It's the thing on the far right. I don't know if...
Yeah, I don't know. I click
Why
in
does it
and
let
just
me do
doesn't
it?
do
Makes
anything.
no sense.
I can
It
click
fails.
on like other ones.
What you're able to tell is that this is not normal technology. This is something maybe psyker. You know, it might be simply psychic powers from the warp, or it's a technology beyond anything you've seen. One of the two or both.
Okay. Well, in that case, can I direct my servo skull to do things?
Yeah, you can do things.
I would like to attempt to use my servo skull to enter this crazy field of craziness.
It goes up to it and bam, and it's bounced off of it.
Rats.
All right.
Well, I suppose I'll bite the bullet and try to shoot the guy.
All right. Do it.
I get to remember how stuff works and pull up my character sheet. All right, combat. Let's attack with my bolt gun. No aim, in range, I assume. And I'm just gonna do. Actually, I'll semi-auto it. I think that's a full.
Meanwhile,
Any
everybody else can
modifier.
also do a logic test if you have anything connected to being in space. Like if you served on a ship before, you know, or I think that's everybody, but anybody related to that can do a logic test.
I'm gonna say I should roll because
Oh yeah, everybody can roll. What'd you get, 5713?
I missed. I got a minus 1.4.
All right, you missed. Darius,
Did
sorry.
it appear that my shots permeated the field?
Actually, I think that's probably what you can tell from this, is as you shot it, it just bounced off the field and it did nothing. Meanwhile, Darius, I see that you succeeded on that. You're not sure what this field is, however, you can sense when he shot at it, and the power was intermittent. It went, you know, and it like the field shuddered, but it doesn't seem to penetrate it. You know that for psychic things, that is what a Geller field does, is it penetrates psychic fields and severs them. So the Geller field is not active, but hypothetically, an active Geller field should sever that thing if it's seeping into the warp.
Interesting. So if this doesn't work out here, guys, we could. Oh gosh, the doors are closed. We got ways to open them. We could get out of here and try to find a close.
This is the command deck. There could be a console in here with access to the Geller field.
Ooh, good idea. I think we should make a choice here then, whether we want to cut through. Because I have a power sword. I want up my power sword because power fields are great at breaking through basically literally anything in existence, from what I understand. I guess the choice is, do we cut our way forward towards that guy, or do we try to get to the consoles elsewhere in the room?
Well, this sounds like a great time to ask, hey, DM, where are the consoles in the room?
Yeah, do we see any?
There are two. There's one here and here, and that's where I had your servo skull go and close the access to the trash.
Gotcha.
Well, could we have the servo skull turn on the Geller field?
Yeah, I think it was just a move action, so 5713, you can move your servo skull.
If I could do that, then... Yes,
It is a basic console, and without trying to like do a tech use check, there's no way you could access the Geller field from here. From looking at it using your servo skull, it looks like that would probably be impossible anyway. It seems to only control stuff in this room, like lighting and doors inside of the room.
Could it open doors inside of the room?
Inside of the room, yeah. All right.
Take that under advisement.
Ramirez is next.
Alright, you said that when it fired away at the force field, it didn't go through, but it did go ping, 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 ping.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone was to take a powerful enough gun and keep firing, would it bore a hole through that?
We don't know. This is fun.
Oh, I agree with you, it's quite fun. I'm just trying to puzzle out if I should re-aim at the zombies here. Well, actually, we've got servitors paint them. And
I think you got to make the decision, man. We don't know whether it's gonna break through.
Alright, I'm playing an inquisitive mind. He's an investigator. He's gonna investigate. Using his aim action, he's just gonna fire away and see if he can break through that force field.
Alright. Okay.
And the range is 110 meters, so it is, this isn't even halfway for it, so we shouldn't get any penalties here. And I'll just be rolling a, pardon me, it's been a while since I did this.
Alright, while you accumulate the different things on the roll, let's see. Go ahead.
Well, I just need a reminder on how to make the roll. It's been a while.
Oh, okay. You'd add plus 20 to it, and then that's it. You just click through the menus that come up.
Oh, there we go. I have no clue why. Just definitely right. Would 50 feet be short range for this?
I don't know. Just just do normal range. It's okay. You can just click the yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be going. You know what? Let's do full auto.
E410, what are you doing? Nice. It all bounces off of that shield.
Alright.
E410, what are you doing?
So I have a Logis implant, and it says +10 bonus on attacking on successful tech use. So I don't know if that's like a free thing to try to get the +10.
I think
it depends. I probably would say so on the item, because using a skill varies from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would have to go somewhere or use something that uses tech use or activate a gun turret like a spider turret or something like that. But yeah.
Like it's an implant, so it sounds like it's like scanning the enemy for like a weak point.
On a tech use, right? Okay, so yeah. Oh, you're saying is it a free action or not? Yeah. Yeah, because actually I looked at some things like that. Yes, that is a free action when you do something that's related to it. I was talking about that earlier. There's a few that have actions associated. Go ahead, yeah. So you do a tech use and then roll the attack. Tech use. All right, so now you can add that bonus to an attack.
So I'm gonna attack one of the zombie things on the left.
Gotcha. They appear to just be like bodies, the parts of bodies that are just rising up. They have a strange glow in their eye and coming from them. All right, what did you do in your attack? What's your attack?
Just trying to figure out this range stuff.
Just click it. It's fine. You're in range.
I think it's just the attack button on the weapon.
Yeah, it's like E410 and then okay, yeah. All right, nice. So let's see. Attack hits. You do 2 degrees to success. You're doing a normal. Is it single shot? Is that right?
Yeah, it was a single shot.
Okay, you can roll for damage. You do 13. You turn this thing into paste. Actually what happens is you blow its left leg off. What type of weapon is it? It's a las gun.
Las gun.
All right. Yeah, you just blow its left leg off and it falls over. Darius. Wait, no, not. Let's see. I got Ramirez 5713 E410. Darius.
Oh, Darius is gonna draw his. Sorry, Hans is not. Hans is shot. Ramirez is shot. Before. Okay. Oh, you've not shot. Sorry.
I have not gone yet.
Okay. Can I actually wait until?
I read about this. You can wait, but you can only save a half action. If you delay your action, you get a half action. I don't know.
Okay. In that case, then I think I'm going to charge, and I'm gonna draw my power sword's already drawn and on. I'm gonna just charge and try to swing and try to disrupt that field of energy protecting that corpse on the throne.
Okay, yeah, you can try to do that. Of note, when you take the delay action, you can take a half action anytime before your next turn, so you could do it before an enemy acts or after, and at your discretion. That's my understanding of it. So,
okay.
All right, so wham! You run up, you try to strike him with your power sword. And I'm gonna try to
not strike him so much. I'm gonna try to move my power sword in as wide an arc across the shield as I can.
Go for it.
So just hoping the power field disrupts it. Okay, I'll make an attack then.
Let's see here.
Seems I get a +10 to this. I think I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry, one sec. Okay, got it. Oh, interesting. There's so many menus I hadn't checked out. Some of them. Alright, that should work.
Alright. You try to take this into a wide arc, and your power sword just like bounces off of it and seems to be repelled by it. Meanwhile, you hear something else happen as some of the protective windows start to slowly open, and you can hear hissing as it seems like he is actually venting this chamber of atmosphere. Anything else, Darius?
No, that's a full action to charge. That's my whole turn.
Hans.
Okay, I get the feeling it's not going to do anything, but because I'm already fully aimed at it, I'm going to semi-auto burst this field. Hopefully something happens. It probably won't, but full aim, in range, semi-auto, and I miss.
All right. I think the same thing happens. Like you start shooting, and it sprays at part of the. You hit part of the field, and it just bounces off of it. Nothing happens. Let's see. Everybody got to go, right? The first time. It's these things is his turn. This one goes to 410. This one goes to 5713. This one goes to Hans. Yeah, they're going to attack. Warp Puppet is going to try to attack. I can't see from 410. Let's see. It seems to be holding just a piece of the ship, and then all of a sudden, like it's just a piece of debris, 5710, and then all of a sudden it just like, or I'm sorry, 410, and all of a sudden it just like ignites in warp fire, like this jagged piece of metal. It hits you in the head. It has penetration 2. What's your armor?
5.
5. Okay, so I think what it does is your armor is able to protect you against it. Is that right? Or let's see. I take 2. This is what I got messed up last time. It did 5 over, and penetrates 2. So I think it does 7. So you take 7 wounds. I think that's right. How many wounds do you have?
I have 11.
You have 11 wounds. Nice. Okay. And then, let's see. This one's going to attack 5713. It does the same thing. It has like this shard of this piece of the ship. And it just attacks you with it. It misses. The other one's going to do the same thing to...
Can I attempt a dodge?
By the way, yes, you all can always use your action, and 410, you can try to take the dodge action as a reaction if you want to see.
Yeah, I'll try to dodge.
You can also attempt to parry, by the way, because you have a sword.
I didn't know if I had a sword, but I didn't know if I had it pulled out if I could parry or not.
Yeah, sure you can. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then I'll attempt the parry action instead.
Let's see if he even hits you. He misses anyways, so... all right, let's see. And then 6 more of them appear.
Oh,
Oh boy.
oh shoot.
We need to find out how to stop that thing.
And that brings us back to Ramirez. No, 5713. Yeah, let's see.
All right, 5713. Well, I've got a servitor looking at a screen. Can I just? Is there a way to just cut power to the room? What? Can I do that?
No.
Just like
Because the command throne has power over the room systems.
I can't circumvent that. I can't like just.
The only thing,
which is in other places.
I will say that you can make a very difficult. It would either be awareness or Yeah, this would be awareness or logic. So it'd be a minus 30 to that. This is a free action, by the way. And then the other thing is, you know that you can cycle the trash chutes. Because you already did that. And I don't think that this person on the throne is cares about the trash chutes right now.
Alright, well I got 1.1 degrees of success on a minus 30 logic test.
Alright, you sense that there are currently only 2 ways out of this room. One is locked from the command throne, but you discover that the way into the navigator oculus is actually right here. The other thing that you can tell is that the only other way out is through the trash chutes.
Alright, where'd you say the navigator oculus was?
Right here. That's the door into it.
What can one do with the navigator oculus?
You probably nothing. A navigator can connect to, it's an astropathic relay, and it can connect, allow them to open their third eye into sensing the Astronomicon.
Great, that's not very useful. Which direction did you say the Geller field was? Can I pull up a map of the ship here?
I will make that an action, but you have to get to the panel, and then it will be a very difficult check. So
I'm at the panel.
Yeah, because you're also in combat, so you'd also have to do a disengage.
No, my servitor's at the panel.
Yeah.
There's no, map button it can press?
No. No, it's just like a light switch.
The map is hidden away somewhere?
It's just like a thermostat light switch door thing, like a garage door opener. It's not like
Great.
So you got to be there hacking it if you're going to try to do more than that.
No, you are here. All right. Well, in that case, let's. Oh, can I? The windows that we're opening. Can I fight that?
You could if you go try to hack and defeat this guy, because he's commanding that.
In that case, I'd like to open all the doors in the trash.
Okay, you open the doors in the trash. Where is it?
I think I'm gonna make the executive decision and say I think we should maybe leave. This may be an activate the Geller field from elsewhere situation, and I think I'd like to take the disengage action and scoot my boots over to the trash.
Okay. You can take a full action and then move.
Alright, could you move me however far that would get me?
Sure, I'll just get you to the trash since that's your goal.
Love it. Where I belong.
Let's see. Moving on. Ramirez. I'm going to get rid of this list because that was what was confusing me. I'm sorry if I get out of order. Yeah, Ramirez.
Going to have to follow. No, he wouldn't do that. Ramirez is going to slowly back cover while firing at this handful of zombies here.
All right, yeah, you can do that. I'll say that you get over to the trash area with your friend, and you can also fire at one of them.
All right, excellent. Lord Captain, we need to get out of here.
You're telling me.
And also you're just normal range, you know. Now, you know, if you were close, you'd make sure you get close range or whatever. Is it and you did a single shot?
That is correct.
Okay, you can roll for damage. Let's see. 13. And it says left arm. You explode the left arm off of this one, and most of its chest, and it falls to the ground. And yeah, and you make it there, and that makes it E410's turn.
Oh, I'm gonna.
And you're no longer in melee, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I run with the others down below?
Yeah, you can make it to them, and you can even still shoot if you want for your other half action. Now, Darius, I think he's going to have further to go.
Oh, I'm gonna try.
Darius
to
is
shoot. That one.
All right.
And can I do the tech use thing again?
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that every time as a free action. And I know I've seen other actions like that, so. All right. Right leg, and it hits. Roll for damage. And 5 damage. The right leg is blown off of this one. It slumps to the ground. Actually, do you want to shoot this one so you free Hans?
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one.
And let's see, Darius.
Oh boy. Could I possibly try to run past them, like kind of elbow, shoulder my way through them?
There's got to be an action for that. It may just be, I think it's just the disengage action. So you do your full movement and then you can just disengage. That's what it is, yeah.
I'd like to do that, like, you know, thematically I'm like flipping them with the shoulders because I've got that Stormtrooper carapace armor on. So I'm probably a lot bulkier than these risen dead bodies. So I'm gonna just, if possible, bash run my way out and get as close to the trash chute as I can. Okay. All while saying something snippy backwards like, I'll be back for that throne.
I think with your full move and then a disengage action, I'll just say you make it about this far. And then that brings us to Hans.
I'm gonna... How far can I move? Was 30?
I'll say from where you are, you can make it here if that's your goal.
Alright, then I'm gonna take a shot at that guy.
Alright.
To maybe free up a little bit of space for him, hopefully. Character sheet. Attack. No aim, in range, single shot. Do we hit? Yes, we hit.
Alright, and then damage.
Hit.
11.
11 damage.
And it says you did the body, so you just like crack the body in half from shooting it as you go. So Captain Darius makes it about that far. It's their turn, and then you see several terrible things happen. First of all,
oh no.
12 more of these things arise from the piles.
What the hell?
And second of all, this one that was shot dead in the first round raises back up.
No.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But it does its turn to do so, and I won't say that you're in melee yet, Darius. But that brings it back to 5713.
All right, 5713 has questions.
Okay.
About the atmosphere in this room.
Oh yeah, you're also running out of air.
Up.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was meaning to ask. If is it like? Is this place depressurizing? And would that have effects on, like, I don't know, sucking a ton of people out of the room?
So it's not sucking you out of the room right now. It's actually just venting the O2. And the effect is, and I'll say that you automatically know this, so you don't have to do a check to know. Mm-hmm. You're like hypoxia, and it's just like, boop, 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 and you can see, like, on your operating system. First of all, everyone's got a -10 to all skill tests right now until you can get oxygen back. And that's for the next 3 rounds. After that, you start losing toughness, and then after D5 minutes, people die. They fall unconscious anyway, which would kill them. So right now, everybody's just getting lightheaded and hypoxic, but except the surface skulls.
And me.
Oh, you have a rebreather. You have a void breather.
I have a void suit with a rebreather that allows me to keep breathing.
You're good to go. It does not affect you, yeah.
So this, there's Is
Let me get back to you.
Yeah, do I think that this room could be depressurized?
Yes. Make a never gain IP from ordinary horrors.
Sorry,
Yes.
I was just looking at my
no.
thing, and I forget that show pops it up there and doesn't actually
Yeah,
show
no,
me what it
you
means.
gotta. Hey Tanner, you're suffocating a little bit.
Make a tech use check. And a normal one, not at -10, because you have the thing on. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Suffocating a bit, how much damage?
And you guys, just so you know, as far as your fate
Not quite
points,
damaged yet.
you only have 30 minutes left of gameplay, so you get your fate points, and it's by session.
Could you press me that tech button for me?
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry. Tech use I can do for myself.
Okay.
That's I know how to do stuff. All right. Boy, am I feeling fatey.
Oh no!
I changed my mind. I'm not. I've never succeeded on one of the rerolls of these things.
Well, I mean, what you do know is that if you could basically literally blow the ship up like apart, you could depressurize it, which sounds dumb to say, but I'm just going to state the obvious. But apart from that, you're not sure what you would need to do.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. You said there were windows here, right?
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. They're these like armored shutters.
Those are acceptable. Do we have Vox to our gunship?
Yeah, it has weapons.
All right. It sounds like there's a course of action right there.
All right, so you try to talk to your gunship, the gun cutter, with your microbead.
Now that sounds like a future problem. For right now, I've got to get everyone in the trash.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I can hang out in the vacuum a bit, so I'm going to. I'm gonna. Gosh.
Be a big damn hero. You want me to get back to you? You seem like you're not-
I'm thinking about how to mechanically execute. My intention is to shoot. My intention is to shoot at people trying to kill Captain Darius.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100% on how I want to execute on that.
Just
All right.
roll for it, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll
You're saying-
semi-auto on the dude to his left.
I see what you mean,
I'll
yes.
do here. Keep, gosh darned, exiting out of my character sheet.
I forgot to mention to remind you all, your servo skulls also act each turn, and they have las pistols.
This is also true. I imagine that I've been using mine to operate some things here. But I would like to sort of move my servo skull out of board smashing range and get it up into the air.
Okay.
I want it to hang out in this area, but I want to get it away from danger.
Go ahead.
I'm going to press my attack button with no aim, in range, semi-auto, no modifiers, and look at that.
All right, roll for damage.
All right, and is that just
Just a regular
one
damage. Yeah.
hit?
You just roll the damage, just like, and then, all right, and you got 5 degrees of success. It does 1 for every 2, so you roll the damage 2 more times.
Okay. Boop, 2 more hits.
You completely annihilate this thing. It's the left side of its body is destroyed. Again, yeah. It's now like parts, like the whole, like only part of it's left.
Yeah.
That's not severed. Okay.
Stay down.
Ramirez.
We're suffocating a bit and we're trying to get the thing open, yes?
It's open. You should jump into the trash.
I must concur, although I assure you, you are not garbage. Emperor says so! Alright, hold on. Emperor says so!
All right.
Ah, thank you. Oops. Just testing it.
All right. Ramirez disappears. E410.
Not fully sure what to do now.
Into the trash.
Into the trash.
I'm standing there next to the trash, shooting guns, saying, "Everyone into the trash."
All right, Darius.
Darius.
Oh, by the way,
makes a running leap into the trash chute.
yeah, actually, okay, y'all can do that. Yeah, you could do that. Everybody gets in the trash. And I will move you over here, and I'll describe what's going on now.
Well, if I have to do this again.
Not again.
How unelegant.
You all tumble down into this. There's all kinds of like that moldy carb paste that's made of people and stuff, and then like refuse and even like old oils and stuff. You just get this on you. It smells horrible. I wonder what kind of like pests are inside of these ships. I don't know, but that stuff's crawling around in here. And then there's spent shell casings in this little room here. This room only leads... Actually, I'll say this door is actually open. It only leads into that next room. And then there's more gore on the ground here. It looks like there are different places where people were fighting, you know?
I would now like to propose that it may be a good idea to inform our fellows in the gunship to blow the windows out of that command deck.
Well, hold on, we gotta get back there ourselves. We're gonna need that command deck.
That feels like a future problem.
I think what he was saying before is that he's hoping to just destroy the Atmo in it, and then hopefully blow these things off into space or something.
Expose it to vacuum, and then we can pick over what's left. It seems like the root of all evil is that dude on the throne. If we can eviscerate him, then mission accomplished.
Or find an operating Geller field.
My only worry is that he'll have already vented the atmosphere by the time we have that happen. But that sounds fine to me.
Our best bet is to find the Geller field, wherever it might be, and activate it again. That might be able to sever the connection between what is animating those corpses and its ability, so we may deliver the killing blow.
Sounds like the best choice to me as well.
5713, even when you try to activate your microbead, you only get static.
Delightful.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Alright, which way to the Geller field?
This only goes one way, so I'll just put you all over in here. And
I vanished. I'm gone.
Somebody's probably on you. You did vanish.
I'm somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, it's weird. You did vanish.
I'm down here, towards the bottom.
Oh God. Okay. The various vicissitudes of the warp. I still don't know where. Oh, there you are. I see where you are now.
There we go.
So
Back,
I have
guys.
something. I have something that might help us find it. Let me read this real quick. Astromancy. Here we are. A knowledge of stars, singularities. Ah, darn. Never mind. That's not related to ships. Unfortunate. Does anyone though have any background knowledge, scholastic lore based on ships?
Scholastic lore, you said. Let's take a look-sees.
I am known to obsess over Geller field generators. On occasion.
Because if for some reason we know, if someone here knows this design of ship, we might know what direction the Geller field would be in from our position.
Yeah, anybody with either Tactica Imperialis or Scholastic lore or anything of the occult could make a check right now.
And Archaeotech would not be that.
I have Tactica Imperialis. I could roll for that.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that before. I apologize, but
I'm gonna use a fate and re-roll because I failed.
Fingers crossed. No.
I'll say you can burn your fate too. You only have 20 minutes left, so.
That was me burning my fate.
Ah, okay.
You're only allowed to burn 1 fate point at a time.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that.
He
Okay.
could have used it to upgrade his success by 1, but
that still would have been negative 0.1 degrees of success. Which,
Dang.
I guess.
All right. Does anybody else have any of those other skills?
Would tech lore give me it?
It would be either scholastic lore, and this is for something else actually, or occult or tactica imperialis, are the 3 different types of things. If anybody has those.
With the scholastic lore, you do gotta like kind of pick things specifically from it, which is why I know that mine doesn't apply, because it seems to be about kind of knowing star maps, like where places are,
Okay. Yeah.
rather than ships.
All right. The door. There's only one door that you see here, and it's just this one right here. It seems to go. There's like a trail of just garbage and stuff. If you open that door, let's see. There's only one door, so you see that it goes into a big chasm that goes down. It's a giant garbage chute that this stuff just falls down into.
There's nothing else in here?
You could make a hard scrutiny test.
I could fail a hard scrutiny test, is what you're saying.
You could try.
I'm gonna give it a shot. Anyone who wants to help me may, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
I would like to help him, since I'm not gonna succeed, I know that much. I've not been rolling well tonight, but I would like to help him by searching around if I can.
All right.
Anyone else?
One other person helps. You can say somebody else helps, so that gives you a +20.
Alright.
And, well, actually, so with it being hard, that would make it a -10.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
2.6 degrees of success.
There is something that you're able to notice. That there is a sliding... there's a gap here. It looks like it's controlled from the other side, but this is a section that can actually be opened.
I'll alert this to the others, indicating that if anyone has a way to crack this open from the wrong side, this might be our best bet.
What if you tried kind of getting your fingers in there and pulling with your back muscles?
I'll rather go about it, God, but let me see what I have for this. Alright, let's take a look at gear.
Oh, hey, I have a power sword bed that might cut right through.
Yeah, I mean, you got Mr. Grabby too there with his super grab-matic.
Ramirez will politely allow his mighty superior allies to take care of the door.
Good eyes, Ramirez will take over from here. No, my power sword is I refire it because hopefully I turned it off before I jumped down that garbage chute. I killed myself, and I'll start like cutting through the pieces that need to be removed.
All right. Is that you making the? It would be a. Is it E410 doing it? And this would be a strength check.
He's probably your E410. You're probably stronger than me. I'll assist. I'll like kind of cut out any heavier pieces to help you make your way.
That'll give it a +10.
I mean, I'll assist any way I can as well.
All right, that gives it a +20. But it's difficult, so again, I'll say this is a -10, and then you have that bonus for your claw thing. Nice. It's difficult, but you're able to basically peel back this plating here, and it's meant to be open from the other side, so you've damaged it, and you can actually hear and air floods in from here because this area is slowly being depressurized. So you're able to get some air back for a second. If you could find a place to pressurize the door on the other side, you could, not have the effects of losing air. I'll also say this delays it. Also forgot to give the negative penalty for the losing air, but that's fine. And you
Did we not close the doors to the garbage chutes on our way down?
you did not tell me that you did that.
Okay.
Nor is there a panel yet to where you could do that.
Well, my intention. Apologize. This is retconny. You can tell me to shove off. My intention was actually to leave my servo skull up there.
Oh.
To close the doors behind us and then have it exit through the main doors.
The main doors were closed at the command turn.
I thought I attempted to open them, and I thought you said that I was successful.
No, not the main doors. No. Yeah, you were able to open the trash chute only because the whatever is in control of the thing on the command throne was like, okay, it's a trash chute, right? It didn't hardly register, but yeah, he void sealed all the main doors.
Gotcha. I think if possible, I would like to maintain that course of action, leaving the servo skull up there to shut the doors behind us, and then maybe just like having the servo skull hide somewhere in the ceiling.
They
yeah, not get noticed.
Go up in the ceiling and you close the doors and you guys slowly start to feel better. All right, let's see here. This corridor, you see more fighting, more signs of fighting. It leads to another corridor, so and it switches back and you see more signs of fighting. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. Let me make sure I have this right. And okay. All right.
Lord Captain E410, are you following us?
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it. I'll pull all of you all down here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, all good.
All right. And then you come to a door. And I'm going to pan the camera just so I can... There we go. The door has a... well, it doesn't... The control's not active, so you'll just have to manually force it open as well.
All right, certainly. Yeah, we'll open this the way that we have with
The
other
only
doors we
true
want
way
to-
to open doors.
Yeah.
All right, you force open this door as well, and you see this vast, several 100-meter across series of platforms that represents the main maintenance area, and hundreds of meters away. Well, I guess you probably can't see it from here yet. It just looks like endless long platforms in the dark. But an interesting thing is these are like gilded, as you can see. There is some sort of holy archaeotech of the Omnissiah here. That's the only reason that something would be decorated in this way. What do you do? Or which way do you go?
Yes, we'll explore this room. You know what, let's just explore this room. Well, maybe explore is too big a word. Let's check through the room as quick as we can with the light sources we have and spot any exits and spot any hazards and any controls to work with.
You, you see in here that there's these massive platforms. This is like a large operating mechanism, like a mechanical one, where extremely large pieces of equipment could be brought into a bay and worked on. Like it's probably one winch of multiple like that could bring like a battery, right? Like a macro cannon or something in, or a whole engine or something. And then you see that these platforms have also been damaged, and there's gaps, but you could probably just step across it in most places. There are old petitions to the Omnissiah, a mixture of writings, supplications to machine spirits and stuff, tech manuals that are just like strewn across on the decking, which probably makes the tech priests like a little uncomfortable. There are these skulls, which ought to make people uncomfortable, but I regret to inform you are perfectly normal and are exactly where they ought to be. They probably have candles sticking out of them and stuff. And that's where what you can see from where you are. It continues on, the plating continues on to your south and to your west, but not to the north. It stops and it overlooks this massive chasm.
There's no maps anywhere.
Not
like,
from...
like a little "you are here," kind of like what you find in the malls.
Yeah.
Style,
I mean, you could look at the papers here, but you don't speak technolingua.
I yell at one of the tech priests who know tech languages and be like, "Is there a map here?" and gesture to the papers.
I have technolingua.
Okay. If you grab one of them, it has a litany of praise to the machine spirit. It says, "Sing the song of the machine god. Press the button 3 times. None may stay our march. Press the button twice. Let the merciless logic of the machine god invest within thee. Press the button then once. None may stay our march. Praise and glory be to the machine god. None may stay our march." And it's actually in, yeah, technolingua. And there are a few others like that. There's one for engines. There's one for repairs. There's one that is a preaching against anybody who's not sufficiently given themselves to the machine that you know your companions probably wouldn't appreciate. It says, "Bio-chauvinism on such a scale when it comes to the processing of knowledge is just laughable. Give me any savant you care, I shall match it worth tenfold in the most basic of machine spirits. It is truth." The Problems of Organic Thinking, Chapter 12. There's one for spaceflight. Yeah, that's what's on here. So no, there's no map.
That's unfortunate.
Just obscure prayers to machines. And different procedures that are caked in lots of different prayers and things and poems on either side to the, you know.
Well, we're going to have to keep exploring. Hopefully one of these directions leads to the Geller Field.
There are three other exits in this room?
There's only 2, east and
Only
south.
2.
Or sorry,
Yeah.
west and south.
And it's not so much an exit, it's just like long, hundreds of meter long platforms with giant vertical machines in a vast chasm. These platforms just continue on to the west and to the south.
Okay, I understand now. Oh yeah, I guess let's meander our way down here through the south.
Okay, I'll put you all together, and then I know it's laggy, so you don't have to. I'll just move you to the next scene here, and to the next platform. And I will roll for my check. Y'all have been very lucky this evening.
It makes me nervous. I keep seeing these dice rolls. I'm just like, what's going on?
Let me pan this further down, and I don't want to hide this. This goes on for like, you know, several hundred meters, and then eventually you find a ornate and extremely like fancy looking plating with the symbol of the skull that's half machine massively in the background, like, you know, it's probably 50 meters wide on its own, you know, and then in front of it is the sphere, this mechanical sphere with ancient mechanisms that hardly anyone understands anymore. You stand before holy and ancient archaeotech, a Geller field generator.
All right. Check
We
priest.
stump.
Do your thing.
Beautiful. Absolutely, I will prostrate myself for this holy relic.
So will I. Start reading out the prayers we found on the ground.
Ah, you sing the litany of praise. Okay, you find that they spend a long time embellishing their thanks to the machine instead of actually pressing any buttons. And as they do this, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna jokingly say I gently kick one of them to get them moving with the Geller field.
Right, and then you start to hear noises.
Gosh.
As figures start to arise on the platforms around you.
All right.
And
Check priest. Get a move on.
that is where we'll end this session tonight.
Dang it.